Hey guys, thanks for checking in today. We're gonna start today with the red ball. So go ahead and take it, hold it out in front of you and get some shoulder rolls. So pull the shoulders up, draw them down, up and draw them down. So they're kind of making a circle. Feel the shoulder blades slide down your back, reach forward and roll it back down. Stand up nice and tall. Chest lifted. Cores are engaged. Okay, and then we're gonna draw the shoulders down. The ball is gonna go into one hand. Mine's going in the right, so if you are looking directly at the camera, take yours into the left. You're gonna press it back, get a big stretch. Find your balance here, and then switch in front. Give a little squeeze on the ball, spread out the fingers of your opposite hand, and press back. Standing tall still. So see if you can feel your weight equally distributed between both feet, and that you have the whole foot pressing down into your mat. So you're not rolling out to the pinky or rolling in to the big toe. We're gonna keep the arms out and hold. Roll the shoulders down again, turn so your palms face the ceiling, and then we're gonna raise up, get a big stretch at the top, switch the ball to the other hand and come back down. So we're just alternating up here on top. Try not to overarch the upper back. As the ball comes up, as your arms raise, feel like your shoulder blades slide down and back. Still keeping equal weight into both feet. Good, let's go one more time. Take it to shoulder height. Now turn so your palms face forward, and we're gonna bring the ball to the front. Shoulders down, take the ball up, reach back. See if you can get your arms in line with your ears, and then you're gonna bend and straighten. So we're stretching into the shoulders, but we're adding movement at the elbow. Trying not to drop our heads forward. So heads continue to look straight ahead. Let's go one more, stretch up. Let's put the ball into one hand, take it down, side bend. Hold this stretch. Again, check with your shoulders. Take them down away from your ears, lift the rib cage up, and we're going back over. Let's go 3 more. Bring the arm down. We'll switch the ball in front, place it against the other leg. Opposite arm comes up and side bend. Hold that stretch for a second, lift the rib cage to come up. And we'll do 5 on this side. But still trying to keep equal weight into both feet. I felt myself shifting to the side that the ball is on. So I'm gonna try to anchor that opposite foot a little bit more. One more. And we're gonna lift and bring it down. And now let's take that ball behind us. Hold it with both hands. Stretch the arms back, lift the chest up. So it's okay to get a little bit of arch into the upper back. That's upper back extension. So we wanna get stretchy through the front of the chest, front of the shoulders. See if you can reach the arms and ball back behind you even farther. And then we're gonna do some head turns. So think of the head staying right on top of both shoulders. A lot of times we jut it forward. So we're just gonna take it side to side a few times, trying not to raise or drop the chin. Sometimes that happens too. Let's go once more to each side. And then bring it back to the center and bring it down. Okay, we're working a little balance challenge. Step forward with one foot, kick the other leg back. Find your balance here. So feet stay about hip distance apart when you slide it back. And squeeze the legs. So you're engaging the muscles around the knees, around the hips. And imagine that you're pulling the legs toward each other, even though they won't change their width. Get your balance. We're gonna take the ball out, drop the shoulders down. So whichever foot you have forward, the ball is gonna be in that hand. So we're gonna take it out and just hold here for a second. Shoulders come down, and we're gonna twist toward the side of the ball. So we're gonna twist to the ball side and come back to the center. So you should be twisting toward that front leg. That's gonna give you a little bit more stability as you turn your spine. The arms stay out nice and long. Let's go 2 more times. Whoa, might lose your balance like I did. Let's come back to center. Now keep this position, but turn your arms so your palms face up. And then we're just gonna raise the ball toward the ear and back down. So working one side of the body with motion, the other side stabilizing, kind of adds a little bit of instability there. Now we're gonna take it forward. Ball down, step in, switch legs. So kick that other leg back. Again, staying about hip distance apart, finding balance. Cores are engaged. Okay, so I've got some force going forward into that front leg. My back leg, the heel's up. Okay, so I'm gonna come out front, shoulders down. So whichever leg you have forward, the ball's gonna be in that hand. Take it out, find your balance here. Shoulders are down, cores are engaged. Try to keep your hips facing forward, and they're gonna twist to the side that's holding the ball, and then back to center. So you may feel a little more wobbly on one side, one a little bit more than the other. This is my wobbly one. 2 more. Squeeze your legs, engage those muscles. And then one more time. Come back to center. All right, stabilize here. Turn so your palms face up, and then we're gonna raise the ball toward the ear. Okay, I felt myself leaning, so I'm resetting my spine, trying to stay in the middle. Good, just 2 more. Keep the arms long. All right, palms forward. Bring the ball forward and step in, roll the shoulders. We're gonna move to the back of our mats. Put the ball aside for now, and we're gonna do a couple roll downs out into plank. I forgot my timer again. So the 1 minute plank is off the table for today. All right, gang, press your heels down into the mat. Feel your spine lengthen, feel your legs engage. We're gonna take the arms out front, draw the shoulders down, and let the arms continue up toward the ears, and we're gonna add an upper back extension. Just stretch into that upper back. It's okay to push the pelvis forward a little if you feel like you can get a little more arch. You can let your face come back if that feels okay for your back and neck. And then we're gonna bring everything back to the center and start rounding down. Look at your body as you pass. Try to keep your feet anchored. Take it down. Get to a spot where your hands can come to the mat. We're just gonna pause here for a second. Now let your head be really heavy. Let it just hang. Feel the stretch in the hammies. Notice the low back. If it's tight, maybe you can go a little bit lower. Try not to bounce though. Okay, we're gonna walk out into a plank. Take it out. Set your hands right under your shoulders, spread your fingers way out, and then come into a plank. So the belly lifts, you're pressing into the mat. Feel those muscles working. Try not to let our heads drop down. Strong between the shoulders. We're gonna shift our weight forward, so we're kind of pointing our feet. Feel a stretch underneath where the toes and the feet come together. And now you're gonna reach your heels back. So this is some work on the wrists, some flexion in the wrists. So if that's too much for you, we're gonna shift forward and back a couple times. If that's too much, just stay in regular plank. Another option is to be on your elbows and forearms if you don't wanna do a full arm plank. If that's too much wrist. We're gonna go 1 more forward and then 1 more back. Reach the heels back. Now start to pike your hips up. Transitioning at the shoulder, reach your heels down to the mat and walk yourself back. We're gonna do a little pause here. Again, letting the head be really heavy. Take a big breath in, fill up your back. As you exhale, lift the belly. Start to roll yourself up. Let your arms stay at your sides this time. And come up tall and roll the shoulders. Okay, take the arms out front again. Get your balance. Raise the arms up. Let's get upper back extension and a nice stretch. Hips can press forward if you want. Come back to center. Round down. So ears and arms stay in line. Pull the belly in. Round it down. Find your balance here at the bottom. Take a big breath in. Stay and exhale. Feel the belly lift. See if you can get a little more rounding in your back. Hands are on the mat. And then we're going out to plank 1 more time. So walk yourself out. Set your hands under your shoulders or go to elbows and forearms if that was too much on your wrists. Plank is more of a challenge when you're on your elbows and forearms. So more core challenge, less force on the wrists. Shoulders back, push into the mat, push into your fingertips. Legs are squeezing, glutes are squeezing, bellies are lifted. Stay really strong through the middle of the body. Press into your mat. Stay long. Shift your weight forward. Shift it back. And forward and back. Again, only if this doesn't bother your wrists. Forward and back. Now pike your hips up. Walk it back in. Let your heads hang. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Okay, I want you to bend your knees and then straighten your legs. And bend at the knees and straighten the legs. If you can't straighten them completely while keeping your hands on the mat, that's okay. Just go to a spot where you feel like you can get a good stretch. Another option is to take your feet wider, farther apart. One more. Okay, now I want you to look out onto your mat. Walk yourself forward a little bit. We're going to go down to hands and knees. And then push hips back into child's pose. So stretch your hips down to the heels. Make your spine really long and then feel like it's coming over the legs. Let your head come down to the mat if that feels good for you. Arms can be way out front like mine are, or you can bend them, pull them in, whatever feels good. Notice the back of your hips, the low back, going into the mid and upper back. Maybe that can get a little longer. Maybe you feel tightness on one side more than the other. Or maybe you feel excellent everywhere. That's okay. It's pretty good. All right. If your arms are not out in front yet, walk them out. Spread out your fingers and thumbs and then start lifting the chest to get that upper back extension again. And just pause here for a second. So as you lift the chest, just look out to the short end of your mat and then feel your shoulder blades slide down and back. Now from here, we're going to shift our weight forward. So we're back to hands and knees. Hands right under the shoulders. Set your knees right under the hips. Roll the shoulders back, push into the mat. Let your tailbone roll under, rounding your back. And then the opposite. Lift. We're going to go through this just a couple times. Lift the belly, roll through. Feel yourself sequence through each part of the spine. One more time. And then back to center. All right, we're gonna swing around and have a seat on the mat. Take your legs right out in front of you. I don't know if you can see mine off the front edge of the mat. I'll scoot back. All right, so we're gonna do a little ankle work from here. Lift up tall. This is also sneaky core work because you wanna try and find neutral pelvis. So stack your arms, shoulders down. You can press down with the top elbow and up with the bottom. Feel the muscles along the sides of your body engage. Okay, so we're just gonna do a little point flex sequence here. Work through a full range on the ankle if you can. Let's alternate. So still sitting up tall, anchoring your hips. Okay, come back to center. Scrunch up your toes, spread them out, and scrunch them up, and spread them out. One more. Okay, we're gonna point the one foot, just point one, doesn't matter which one, and then we're gonna circle. I don't know if you can hear my mat squeaking. That's my mat. All right, let's switch. Point, circle around, loosen it up, sit up really tall, and then switch. Okay, point both feet. We're gonna extend our arms out front, raise them up, get a really big stretch, and round over your legs. And just hold. Let your hands come to the mat, pull them in towards your hips, and then roll yourself up to sitting up tall and roll the shoulders. All right, I'm gonna scoot this way so you can see what I'm doing sideways. We're gonna take the red ball and put it at our thighs. So I'm moving forward with my feet at the front edge of the mat to give myself a little bit of room when we roll back. So the arms will extend out front, shoulders draw down. Roll back and pull up. We're just gonna do a couple and then we're gonna add some rotation. So pull in, just warming up into the low back. Two more. Arms stay extended out front. Okay, this time as you roll back, your arm is gonna sweep along the floor and then come back. Let your eyes and your face follow that moving hand, and your opposite arm is reaching forward. Keep a squeeze on the ball. Little change, same arm. We're gonna pull it right along our side and we're not gonna rotate. So pull that arm back. Keep your opposite arm reaching forward. Two more. Come forward, hold. Your opposite arm is going to sweep out to the side as you rotate and come back up. So you're twisting your spine and your face and your eyes are following your moving hand, moving arm. Keep a squeeze on the ball. Try to keep your feet down. I felt mine lift a little bit. Now we pull that elbow right alongside us. Pull and reach and pull. So it's an active pull, as if you've got one of those stretchy bands, right? Pull it back. One more. Okay, let's hold here. Let the arms come down. We're gonna diamond our feet. Let the ball rest right in the middle. If putting your feet together here doesn't feel good, you can have them a little wider. But we wanna get a little rotation here at the hip. And then just reset your hips so you're on those sits bones. And then I'm gonna bring my arms out front, and I'm gonna take them about as wide as my mat. And I'm gonna roll myself back and hold. All right, so we got a little opening in the hip here. We're gonna bring the arms forward and open out, and bring them forward and out. They can come pretty close to each other. Just try not to close in the chest. We're trying to stay open through the chest. Let's go 3 more. Pull the belly in. We're rounding our spines. And 2. If this bothers your hip flexors, you can have the knees together. That's okay. Okay, let's come forward now. Let's take the knees together, and we're going to come up. Take the ball, put it back behind your hips, but we're keeping the knees bent for this one. Squeeze them together. Roll your hips back into the ball and hold for a second. Shoulders come down. We're going to take our arms overhead and lower them back to chest height. And up. Try not to collapse down into the ball. My knees are squeezing and I'm pressing the back of my hips into the ball, but trying not to lay on it completely. All right, let's hold right here. Now the arm is going to stay shoulder height. Actually, both will. And then we're going to take one out to the side and twist, twist, twist. Get that long reach and then come back in. Same arm, same thing. So your opposite arm is reaching forward. Create tension and resistance. Reach, twist. Let's go 2 more. Keep squeezing your knees. Keep your hips pressing into the ball. Spines are round. And then 1 more. Back to the front. We're going to come forward and then back we go. Push your hips into the ball. Find a round spine. Bellies are in. And then opposite arm reaches forward. We take that one out to the side and twist, twist, twist. Keep it at shoulder height. Create resistance. Again, like you're pulling a stretchy band between your hands. 2 more. And 1 more. Come back to the front and then roll forward and up. Okay, this time we're going to put the ball back a little bit, roll onto the ball and just barely touch it. Take your feet to about hip distance apart. Okay, so we're not sinking down into the ball. We're using our core to lift. If this bothers your back, move the ball in closer to your hips. All right, shoulders are down, feet are anchored. We're taking the arms up, out to the sides and back. Reverse, out to the sides first, up and down, reverse again. Up, sides, forward, reverse, sides, up and down. Hold it, hold it. Lengthen your spine, come forward. We're gonna move the ball to maybe the base of the shoulder blade, brow line area. Okay, now you can rest on the ball. Walk your feet in and settle yourself so the ball isn't causing the low back to arch. I want you to feel like your core is engaged, the ribs are zipping together in front. We're gonna take our hands and put them back behind our heads, and then we're gonna take our spines up and over the ball and find a spot where it feels like a good stretch for you. We're still supporting our head with our hands. Our feet are anchored. Okay. Take a big breath in. Feel your rib cage expand out to the sides. And then on the exhale, feel the ribs draw together. Let's do that again. Big breath in. On the exhale, now we're gonna come up. So feel the ribs draw together, feel the chest lift, get to a spot where you feel your abs working. All right, I felt my knees and hips shifting around a lot. So I'm gonna regroup here, see if I can keep the back of my hips anchored, my feet pressing down, and then I'm gonna go up and over the ball again. So here we go, we're going up and over, inhale now, and a nice big exhale. As we pull the abs in, try to stay anchored. Yeah, there you go, and then take it back. Let's go one more time. stretching into the upper back. And then forward. All right, arms reach to the ceiling, then they reach forward. And I want you to do a little curl, almost lifting off the ball. Now go back about 3 inches and come forward 3. I might be going more than 3. Try not to lead with your head. Your head's coming right along with your chest and your upper body. Keep the curve in your spine. Just little curls. Think of reaching past your knees with your arms. Let's go 3 more. Hold. Walk your feet out a little bit. Curl a little bit more. Hold. Pull the belly in, rounding your spine. You're going to roll forward and lift up off the ball. All right, take that ball, put it back at your thighs. Give a little squeeze, arms forward. Start to roll back. Stop when your hands are right around your knees. Okay, we're going to do a little regroup here. Start letting your pelvis roll under you a little bit more to curve your spine. Now hold. Shoulders come down. Regroup. Down a little bit more. Squeeze the ball. Tuck under and roll. Take it all the way down. Let your arms come down to your sides. Slide your feet in. Okay, we got one little short bridging session, and then we're going to continue with the ball. So anchor your feet. Give the ball a squeeze. Let your hips roll under you, and then come up into bridge. Stretch your knees forward. Stretch your shins forward. Lengthen your thighs. Let your shoulders relax. We're going to raise our arms to the ceiling. Turn your whole arms so your palms face each other, but so does the inner aspect of your arms. And then open them out to the sides. Don't take them all the way to the floor. And just hold there. Stay connected at your underarms. Feel like the back shoulder blades and back rib cage press down toward the mat as you press your hips up. And we're going to raise our arms so they're right over our chest and shoulders, and then they're going to come back out again. Try to stay really still through the rest of your body. So you're squeezing the ball, your hips are up, your glutes are squeezing. Feel those hammies. Take the arms up and hold. Turn so your palms face away from you. We're going to take our arms all the way down to the mat and press them into the mat so that you might feel a little bit more work through the middle of your body. Press your hips up, press your arms down, press your feet down, squeeze the ball. And with all of those muscles engaged, we're going to roll ourselves down, coming into neutral pelvis and neutral spine. Now we're going to take the ball, put it under your feet, and then roll it out. So legs together, heels off the front of the ball. Okay, what's important to remember for this next sequence that we're doing is to keep the muscles around your knees engaged so you don't hyperextend your knees down toward the floor and they don't go lower than the ball. So we want to get that squeeze. You want to find the midline of the body. We're always talking, well, I am always talking about that. If there was a line right down the middle where we want everything pulling toward that center, so we're working evenly on both sides of the body. All right, our arms are at our sides, shoulders down. So that same press into the mat that we just did when we were in bridge, you're going to press with your arms. You're going to press your feet down into the ball, or your legs rather, and then your hips are going to hover. So it won't be real high, but we're lengthening the hammies and then we're getting them to engage. You might be a little wobbly on the ball, that's okay. So just find this spot, squeeze the legs together, get those muscles around the knees engaged. And then we're going to lower the hips back down and let the legs lighten up. I'm going to roll the ball in a little bit so more of my foot is off the edge, because it felt a little unstable for me, and it felt like too much of my foot was on the ball. So you guys kind of play with that, see what feels best for you. So again, arms are along our sides, shoulders are down, arms nice and long. Press down into the mat with your arms, with the back of your shoulders, and press down into the ball with your legs. Squeeze the legs together. Feel the muscles around the knees engage. Hips press up, legs press down. Okay, check in with your shoulders. Press them down into the mat. And then down come our hips. And up go the feet. We're going to do that one more time. Staying nice and long through the legs. All right. Arms press down, shoulder blades down, feet down. Hips lift and pause. Abs zip up Here's a challenge. Stay here or bend at the elbows. If that works for you, maybe try to raise your arms. That gets a little wobbly. Squeeze the legs together. Lengthen your hammies. Squeeze your butt. Take the elbows back down. Take your hands back down. And then lower the hips down. Let the feet be light. All right, we're gonna bend our knees and roll that ball in just for a little break for a second. It's okay to let your hips roll under if you want a little bit of a stretch there. Come back to center, roll the legs out. All right, the ball is gonna be under the left leg. The right knee is gonna come in for a stretch. So pull it in, just get that left leg nice and long. Again, being careful not to hyperextend the knee. You can make it kind of light on there. Shoulders relax, necks are long. All right, we're gonna release that right knee. Let it come to tabletop. Let's bring our arms along our sides and then stretch the right leg to the ceiling. Okay, here comes a little pendulum. I was gonna say TikTok, that's not right. So the right leg is gonna cross over the body only as far as we can go, keeping the hip down. And then you're gonna use your core to pull it through center, take it over to the other side. Try to stay steady on the left side. So the left foot on the ball is not rolling around. Come back to center, reset. Here comes a circle. It's crossing over to the left, circle around and come back up. Little pause. And around to the left. And over to the left. 3, 2, 1 more. Little regroup. Now we go out to the right. Sweep it across and up. 5. It's hard to stay still on that left side with the foot on the ball. Just try it. And back to where we started. All right, now, as we lower the right leg down, we're gonna roll the ball in, and then we're gonna take the ball back out and raise. We're gonna do 10 of these, so don't zip through them. Go slow with control. Get as much stretch on that right leg as you can. Lift it. Pull it toward the chest. Let your shoulders relax. The foot on the ball is light. Let's go 3 more. Leave the left leg out. Bring the right knee back into your chest. Reach for your shin or back behind your thigh. Shoulders come down. Okay, let's switch legs. So the right leg is coming out. We're gonna do a little switch down here and then place the ball behind the right leg. Bring your left knee in. We'll start with a stretch here. Okay to let the hips tip under. Just get it loose at the shoulders, stretchy at the hip. All right, release the left leg. Come to tabletop first. Arms along our sides, and then we're gonna stretch the leg up. Shoulders are down. Hips are anchored. And now let's go across to the right. Pull through center, go to the left, only as far as we can keep our hips still. One more each way. Back to center. Little regroup here if you need it. And then the leg is gonna cross over to the right, circle down, come back where we started, little stop, and around. Work on keeping the hips still. And then a little pause. Now reverse over to the left. Sweep it across the right. One more time. Okay, here we go. We're gonna lower the left leg, roll the ball in, and then stretch, pull that left leg toward you. The foot on the ball is light. Work the core. Relax your shoulders. Mine were not. One more time. Leave the right leg out, bend the left knee, bring it in. So behind the thigh or shin, relax the shoulders, get a nice stretch. Okay, let the left foot come to the mat. Roll the ball in. We're gonna take it and put it at our thighs and give a little squeeze. Anchor your feet. Take your hands and stack them and put them behind your head. And then lift the chest up into flexion. So as that happens, you feel the rib cage kind of press down into the mat. Squeeze the ball, and we're gonna raise legs up into tabletop. Okay, use your arms, use your core to lift your chest. Now we're gonna take the arms and bring them along our sides, and we're gonna do 50 of our 100. Pull the fingers together, reach longer, and then pump. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out. In, out, in, out. Last set. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Curl the ball toward your chest. Curl, reach for your shins, roll everything down, and then get a little side rock. Come on back to center. All right, we're gonna change this up a little bit. We're gonna take the ball and put it at our ankles and extend the legs up. All right, here are a couple options. We're gonna do 50 more, but we're going to change the leg position. Either keep your legs straight like this, or tabletop, or extended out. I'm gonna start with mine up. When I come into flexion, I'm gonna lower down a little bit. You can change it throughout. I'm getting a foot cramp. You can change it throughout if you want, or just stick with one. Also an option to just put your feet right back down on the floor. All right, here we go. We're gonna extend up first. Take your hands, put them back behind your head. Anchor the tailbone. Stretch the back of your neck, lift up into flexion. Okay, so get yourself settled. I'm gonna take my arms along my sides, pull fingers together, and I'm gonna lower down a little bit. You decide where you wanna go with this. Squeeze that ball, lift the chest. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. In, 2, 3, 4, 5, out. In, out, in, out. Last set, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring that into your chest, roll it back, and then side rock. Let's take the ball out. Just hold it in your hand, take the arms out to the sides, knees and feet together, and then get a spine twist. So let your knees come to the floor on one side, it doesn't matter which one, and then roll your head the other way. And then faces back to center, knees to the middle, and then to the floor on the other side. And turn your head the other way. Faces center and knees center. All right, get rid of the ball. We're gonna roll onto our side and come up on our elbow. So this side leg sequence, it makes it much tougher when we're up on the elbow. Still not quite sure why, but it does. We wanna make sure that the elbow's underneath the shoulder, that it's not too far out and have that pressure going down this way, or too far in and shift your body weight forward. So take a look, set it up. Your hand can be flat, or you can go with the fist, whatever works for you. We're gonna start with both legs bent, and we're gonna see if we can move them back. So I'm not in a perfectly straight line. My knees are a little bit in front of my hips, and that's okay. I want you to lift away from the mat. So try not to let your rib cage sink down. Now we're gonna straighten out our top leg. Take your hand and put it either back behind your head or here in front at your side. So we're gonna stretch our top leg and take it to about hip height. So already you should feel those muscles in the hips working. We're gonna start with our circles. Long, long leg, we're gonna go back up and around. So I'm going about the size of a dinner plate. 3, 4, keep lifting away from the mat. 7, 8. And let's reverse it. So we go forward, up, and back. So when you go back, you wanna stretch the front of your hip and feel the glutes engage back there. 5, I think, 6, Keep it long, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, now we're gonna lower and lift for 10. Stretch to lift, 9, try not to sink into the mat. Stay lifted, 6. One more. Okay, let that leg come all the way down. Bend the knees, match them up. We're gonna go onto our bellies. I want you to stack your hands and let your foreheads rest on your hands. Stretch your legs out and bring them together. Okay, so again, looking for that midline. And then that leg we just worked, the top leg for me, that was my left. I'm gonna stretch and lift that leg up. Trying to keep it straight at the knee, but I don't know if that will totally happen, but I'm trying to make it as long as I can. And then I'm gonna move that leg out to the side, and I'm gonna tap the outside corner of my mat, raise that leg back up, squeeze it and keep it lifted. So I'm taking it out, tap, lift, and squeeze it back and keep it lifted. We're gonna do 10. Three more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, both legs to the mat. Now separate them a little, what's comfortable for you. Feel the bones of the pelvis on your mat, so the pubic bone is anchored. And we're gonna take our hands and bring them along our sides, arms bent, fingertips down, elbows down. And we'll do a little upper back extension sequence here. So the belly button lifts, the pubic bone is anchored. And then just lift the chest, keeping your elbows down on the mat. Don't try to go up super high. Find your end range. And when you get there, see if you can actively stretch the chest by widening. Think of the collarbones getting longer. They don't really get longer, but see if you can get a little bit of muscle engagement there. And then we're gonna slowly lower back down. Let your forehead come to the mat. Let's do that one more time. So the belly lifts, lift the chest, anchor your elbows. Think upper back, not so much low back. Widen in front. And then we're gonna come back down. All right, from here, pull your legs together. Find that midline again, the belly lifts. We're gonna scoot our hands back a little, push hips back into child's pose. We'll get a stretch. And then we'll work that other side, single leg, side leg work. Shift your weight forward, and then we're gonna work our way back down to the mat. A time out for my hat adjustment. Okay, so we're up on our elbow. So shoulder and elbow in line. Hand can be flat or in a fist. Core is engaged. Knees are a little bit in front of the hips. The bottom leg can stay bent. All right, check into this bottom side here. We want the rib cage lifting. That's your core. If this bothers your neck looking forward, you can just turn your head and look down at your bottom hand. That helps with that neck rotation a little. The neck rotation helps that a little bit. Okay, so our top leg is extending. And we're gonna raise to about hip height. We get that contraction in the hip. Abs are tight. And then we're gonna take the leg behind us and around. And behind us and around, nice and steady. 4, keep your body still. 5, keep lifting away with your rib cage. And let's reverse. So we go forward and around. Now keep your leg at hip height. And we're gonna lift it higher and lower down. Stretch to lift. Try not to sink into the mat. I just was. Stay lifted, work your core. 5, I think. 6. One more time. Lift, let it come all the way down. Bend those knees a little bit. We're going back onto our bellies. Okay. This time, foreheads are on the mat, our arms are long at our sides. Stretch out your legs, Shoulders down. We're gonna do back extend. Nope, we're not. Pull your legs together. Stack your hands and rest your forehead. I forgot about that leg lift. Okay. Belly lifts. Pubic bone anchors. We're gonna stretch the leg we just worked. Stretch it, feel those glutes engage. Stay here for a sec. Establish the midline by squeezing inner thigh. Now the leg is gonna stay lifted. It's gonna move out to the outer corner. It's gonna tap, lift, come back in, keep it lifted. And then it goes out to the side and taps and comes back in. Squeeze the inner thigh to get that leg back in there, back to the midline. Feel your belly button lift up away from the mat. Good, 2 more. Squeeze it in. And last one, up. Keep it lifted, squeeze, then lower down. Okay, now let your foreheads come to the mat. Let your legs separate and stretch your arms along your sides. Straighten them out, turn them so the palms are up. Okay, so we feel the bones of our pelvis in the mat. The belly button lifts. We're going to reach our arms really long, like we're trying to reach down to our feet, and let them hover off the mat. Pull the fingers together. Lift the chest. Just float it up. Look straight down at your mat so the back of the neck stays stretchy. All right. Little presses up, up, up with your arms. It's little. Straighten your arms. Squeeze the triceps. Keep the chest lifted. Press, 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 press. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let everything come back down. Bend your arms, elbows and fingertips back on the mat. Spread the fingers way out. Lift the belly, anchor the pubic bone, lift the chest. We're going to pause here for a second. So here's that spot again we were doing last time. Widen the chest. Now we're going to continue to lift. You can press into your hands a little bit. Let it come up. Shoulders draw down. Get a big stretch into the back. And then down we go. Elbows, and then the rib cage, and then the forehead. Bring your legs together. Shift back into child's pose. Stretching. Let your hips come down. Chest comes down toward the legs. Reach into the low back. Shift your body weight forward. We're going to do a cat-cow. Hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers out. Spread the knees out. Roll the hips under. Bend as much as you can. Stretch into your back. And then the opposite. Tail up. Chest up. Let's go one more time. Cycle through your spine. Back to neutral. All right, we got one ab sequence. Yep, we got time. Okay, so we're going to go right from one into the other. If you need to make modifications along the way, go ahead. If you need to put your head and shoulders down, that's fine. Scoot so your feet are at the short edge of your mat, knees together, shoulders down. We're going to work our way down, but we're going to try and stay in flexion, okay? So let's take it slowly. Squeeze the knees. Start to roll into the back of your hips till you feel the back really stretching down toward the mat. And then you're going to continue to lower yourself. Keep the chest reaching to the legs. Now bring the knees up into tabletop. Extend one leg out, bring one leg in. Pull on your leg to lift your chest a little bit more. And then we go 10 sets. One more each leg. Bring that leg in, shoulders down. Stretch that leg up, hold back behind the calf or thigh. Get a good stretch. We're gonna do one slow switch to get hammies. All right, 10 sets, here we go. 10. Try not to kick yourself. 3, 2, and 1. Now take your knees to tabletop, hands behind the head. Let your right toe come down and just lightly, lightly touch the mat. Rotate towards your left leg. Now we switch. 10 sets. And 9, stay lifted. 8, get a good twist. 7, 6, I'm on a creaky part on my floor. 4, that's not my back. 2, 1, everything center, roll it down, pull the legs in, and get a little side rock here. All right, what we did not do is a roll up. I don't know if I'm gonna make it at this point, but I think we should try. Let's bring feet to the mat. Straighten the legs out. Remember, you can always hold onto the backs of your legs for a little boost, but see if you can work through that stuck spot. Squeeze the legs together. Let's take arms overhead for a full stretch here. Big breath in. Now we're gonna break this down. As you exhale, raise the arms to the ceiling and feel your shoulder blades start to press down into the mat. Feel your underarms start to reach towards your hips. Start lowering the arms. Let the arms pull you up. Squeeze your legs together and round forward. All right, we made it. I'm sure we all did. Let's round over our legs. Hold on wherever your hands land. Use your arms to gently pull yourself a little bit lower if you can. No bouncing. Release where you're holding. Hands to the mat. Slide them in. Lift up. Roll the shoulders. Take your arms forward and up. Stack them, put them back behind your head. Press your head into your hands, and we're gonna twist. Let's get one little rotation set here. See where you go. Hips stay anchored, feet stay anchored. Come through center. Twist the other way. Back to the middle. Arms up, arms forward, and down. We're gonna work our way up to standing. Slide your feet in, shift your weight forward, and come up. All right, we're gonna do one standing roll down. So comfortable distance with your feet. Draw the shoulders down. Feel your arms slide down. Turn so your palms face away. We're gonna inhale, raise. Arms come toward the ears. We're gonna get a back extension here. Come back to center. Now turn so your palms face away. Start to press down. Feel your spine get a little bit longer when your hands are around shoulder distance. Start to bring your chin toward your chest. Round it down. Lift the belly. Bend your spine. Take it all the way down. Let your head hang. Nod your head yes. Bring it back to center. Turn it no. Back to center. Now get a little bit of a bend in the knee. So that's going to give you a little break for the back side of the legs. And then as you round your back and roll up, then you can start straightening your legs. And then we're just going to let our shoulders come down and our arms stay at our sides, and then add a shoulder roll or two. Okay, guys, thanks for joining me today. Hope you had a good class, and I'll see you next week.